Congratulations, Minister, on your appointment as the new Minister of Citizenship and Immigration. So now my question would be, if you could explain briefly, what are the initiatives that the Government of Canada and especially the Department of Immigration is working on right now?
Well, first of all, thank you very much, and parev to all of your viewers. We have a very exciting story to tell in Canada with regard to immigration. The country is built on waves of immigration over centuries, and we continue to have amazing success with these talented people from all parts of the world, finding new homes in our cities, in our smaller communities and rural areas increasingly. And in recent years, we've worked very hard to make the system even better. My predecessor, Jason Kenney, as you know, took over at a time when we had big backlogs, long processing times, and a bit too much fraud, more than a bit too much, in some branches, in some streams of immigration. So we've reformed almost everything. We've cut the backlogs in half, virtually. We've improved processing times in most areas. And on fraud, you've seen the changes to our asylum system, to make sure human smuggling is not happening, to make sure that people who say they're living here actually are living here, to make sure that people follow the rules, which benefits all of us who are law-abiding Canadians. We want to do more of that. We want to reinforce the integrity of the system so that it works for another generation or two well, and is the envy of the world, as we know it already is. Secondly, we want to keep up strong levels of immigration. We've had over 250,000 per year for the last several years, the highest levels in our history. We need at least that many people, and perhaps in some categories more. We want to continue reuniting families and bringing refugees to Canada. We have always been generous in that regard, and we will continue to be. But above all, we want to focus the immigration flows to Canada on our economic needs. We know we have some professions, skilled trades, where we don't have enough people in this country, and we should reach the people with those skills outside of Canada first and give them priority in our immigration. And we're moving in 2015 towards a system called Expression of Interest, which will let more people than ever express interest in coming to Canada, and then allow us, governments and the private sector, to look into that pool of interested people and say, you're the one we really need, or this trade is very much in demand. And that's a very exciting process, because I think we all believe it will reduce the lag time between the arrival of an immigrant in Canada and their entry into the workforce.
Although this is your first visit to the Armenian Community Center, but in your previous career, you had many experiences with Armenians. Can you mention some of those experiences to us?
Well, first, I've never felt distant from the Armenian community at any stage in my life. I have Canadian friends, colleagues of Armenian heritage working in my office. I've grown up alongside Armenians. My family has shared churches with Armenian communities. But you're right, I did work as a diplomat for a total of 6 years in Russia, and was also responsible for Armenia in Ottawa as the desk officer for a certain amount of time. I've been to Yerevan many times. I've been to Etchmiadzin more than once. I've visited the monument to the genocide outside of Yerevan. And I'm very proud to be part of a government that recognized that historical tragedy, that genocide, for what it is, and that considers the Armenian community in Canada and the Armenian Orthodox Church and its Catholicos to be among the great leaders of our larger Canadian family and larger Canadian community. We're very proud, and I've seen firsthand what this community has achieved, and also its deep, deep history of influence in world civilization. And today we were talking about the tragedy Syria is facing, including Armenians in Syria. We know that the Armenian community will be among those Canadians responding, ensuring that we are meeting some of the most urgent needs in a very generous way, with great humanity, and with in the best traditions of this community and of Canada in general.
Thank you so much. All the best to you, and I'm very happy that I've met you today.
Thank you.